Development with Tactics podcast. And today it's actually gonna be self-improvement related, I think, I guess, I assume. And I am willing to talk about maybe giving one's best, giving your best. Maybe there's something that's the Stoicism. Maybe the Stoics are talking about that. I think it is naive. Stoic quotes that will strengthen your perspective on life. Definitely what I want to have. Oh no, we're not gonna get through this. Your Stoic daily routine. Give yourself fully to your endeavors. How to practice Stoicism. Let's see. Because there is a daily Stoic article on that. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to try. Perfection being something that is definitely not achievable, at least I would say so. Can I access this page? I could also, in the meantime, show you. Where is it? There it is. You can't reach this page. What is going on now? Maybe it is performance issues that I'm encountering here. Could be the case. I don't know. Maybe it's also because I'm having 700 other tabs open. YouTube, you know, that's definitely very nice when you're streaming and shit. Don't do that. Let's see. Can I access it now? No, I can't. Let's go to Reddit then. If we can access that, yes, we can. Did you always give it your very best? Ryan Holiday often refers to an anecdote about Jimmy Carter when he was at Naval Academy, where the lesson is you should always give your best, but that just seems unsustainable. In weightlifting, you have to dance between giving your best, volume, intensity, frequency, and backing off so you can manage recovery and avoid injury and burnout. I think it is naive to always give your best. What do others think? Well, giving your best, I think, is great. But you could also say, I'm giving my best not to burn out. Which then would include just, not overworking, / also having some breaks. Maybe the Pareto principle, maybe you're doing something differently, maybe you're doing this, that, and the other thing. I don't know. But trying your best in the sense of sustainability, in the sense of sustaining this workload, this, whatever it might be, this, I don't give a shit. Like, you get the point. I think in this sense, yes, definitely always try your best. It's not going to be perfect. 100%, it's not going to be perfect. But I really want to access the site now. I really want to read this article. Let's do this. Is it down? Is it because of me? Is it whatever? I don't know. What don't you get about do your best? But everything else works. So there is philosophy as a way of life on Medium, yes. And I'm having 3 articles for today. Only stories left this month. Well, that's a bit much. The other day, I did yet another interview with a journalist curious about the surgence of Stoicism as practical philosophy of life, which is great. I very rarely decline to give interviews, chat on podcasts, or write op-ed pieces on Stoicism because I am convinced that it can be very helpful to people and that the world would be just a little bit better if more of us tried to follow the Stoic path, or for that matter, similar ones like Buddhism, ethical culture, and so forth. Yet almost invariably, the journalist in question, and yes, the latest one was no exception, runs into trouble when I explain that what seems to me a pretty straightforward concept. the dichotomy of control. It also happens to be arguably the crucial axiom of Stoicism. So if one doesn't get that, one really does not get the whole philosophy. So the idea is famously and consciously expressed right at the beginning of Epictetus' Enchiridion, though it goes all the way back to the founder of the school, Zeno of Cithium, or Citium, whatever. Should I read this? Yeah, I'm just gonna read it. Some things are within our control while others are not. Within our power, our opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever is of our own doing. Not within our power, our body, property, reputation, office, in a word, whatever is not of our own doing. According to Pierre Hedot, I guess, in his classic The Inner Citadel, see my ongoing discussion here, and here, and here, the dichotomy of control is at the foundation of Epictetus' discipline of desire and aversion. The first of three disciplines, the other two being of action and of assent, and the one that is logically linked to the study of physics, i.e. natural science and metaphysics, one of the three fields that constituted the Stoic curriculum, the other two being logic, i.e. anything to do with some sound reasoning, and ethics, i.e. how to live one's life. The idea is that the dichotomy of control stems from our understanding of how the world works, which means physics, influences the part of ethics that deals with quote-unquote ethics, by the way, that deals with what we should probably desire and avoid. The striking thing about the passage above is that Epictetus includes under things not within our power a lot of items that we normally think are, in fact, within our power. Of course, we misguidedly think, I control my body. After all, I can decide to go to the gym and eat healthy, of course. We foolishly assume I control my property, it is mine. Of course, we continue undeterred or something. I control my reputation since it depends on how I myself behave. Right until a disease strikes your body, you lose your job because of outside circumstances and consequently can no longer pay your mortgage, or someone spreads malicious but effective rumors about your behavior, thus damaging your reputation. See how easy it is to lose control. Body, property, reputation, office, and many other externals, not for instance the weather, can be influenced by our actions. Yes. Is there something else to it, or is it just about that? Because I am not that interested in things that I have already talked about 700 times. I'm giving it another try, the Daily Stoic. I hope you do work. Perfectionism, trying your best. But I think the problem with trying your best sometimes and very often is that it really takes a lot of time, and it really, it might break your whole schedule. Like, yes, I want to do my best. I want to create something great and whatever. Sometimes we're not that in control of it. Sometimes it is a process. Sometimes, things happen and whatever. But, big but, I would also argue giving your best in many fields while while noticing that you cannot be 100% doing this and 100% doing that. There is going to be a 50-50, 70-20 and whatever. But for this instance, it is the best that you can do to ensure your best in the other one. Like, giving your best as a concept, giving your best as a thing, is very, very, indeed very, a very flexible thing, a very flexible term, a very, very flexible concept. You can put it into so many different ways. You can talk about it in so many different ways. That in some or the other way, it's inevitable that you are gonna do your best, unless you're really not doing your best and you're really not trying to strategize even for some shit. But yeah, let's see whether we can find on the image side of fucking Google some really great quotes. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Yes. To be even-minded is the greatest virtue. Heraclitus. Perhaps the worst will happen, perhaps not, but until then, look forward to better things, by Seneca. Because I think in the end there's not that much you can do on one hand, and on the other hand, visualizing negativity and expecting negativity or negative events happening is definitely not serving us. It's definitely not serving you, nor is it serving me, so it makes sense not to do so. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Difficulties show a person's character. Breakfast with Seneca, a Stoic guide to the art of living. The art of living. At this point in time, and this is also partly why I'm willing to go through this whole, being perfect, trying to be perfect, time management and shit like this. I am at this point in time having quite a hard time to working on a creative project, architectural for uni. It is quite difficult. It really, really strains me in mentally and physically. But I don't really know what is good and what isn't. And at this point, I think I know what is good and what isn't. Of course, it is still quite subjective, what looks good and what doesn't. But there are just so many things that I can do, and I should also ensure certain other things, that I am healthy, that I am feeling somewhat good and whatever. And so maybe, and well, of course, it might also be about meditation that I stopped probably half a year ago or something. Might be about that, might be about other things. Maybe should get into this again. Many thoughts, many things that could help, that might help, but trying and doing and then whatever is probably the way to go. But yeah, I think with this being said, I'm gonna end the episode there. I wish you the best and hopefully see you soon.